Good afternoon, Muttonistas. As a result of humping Juventus in the last of our group stage games here in Orlando, it meant that we stay in Orlando, as in Manchester City. The draw seems to have opened up well for us, but today we have a Saudi team to play who probably shouldn't be estimated, Al Hilal. So let's hope City march forward, because the draw, as I said, is looking lovely, and beat Al Hilal and march on to the quarterfinals of the 2025 Club World Cup. Join me, Muttonistas, for today's Matchday vlog. Right, Muttonistas, today's featured pub or venue is the Harp and Celt. It's slightly odd, the setup here, because I just walked into the Harp and it's a very quiet bar and with a little nether store in the middle. I don't know what it is, some sort of escape room, is it? And they have the main bar, the Celt, behind me. So there are many more people waiting in there, so I think I should go into the Celt. As for the game itself, well, Al Hilal, they did get a point against Real Madrid, so they can't be too bad, although they really struggled to just score that one goal they needed. A 0-0 draw against Salzburg and another sweaty 1-0 win against Pachuca. I didn't see whether they had a lot more chances to score, but it seemed from the reports as if they have trouble putting the ball in the back of the net. Anyway, we'll talk about that a bit more in a few ticks. Let's go in and have a pint and a bite. Right, Muttonistas, I'll talk a bit more about the pub and where we are and bring you a food segment, but first, a pint of Guinness has arrived very quickly, and I have to say, it does look very, very good, this does. A beautiful, clean head, imperial glass, good temperature. Oh, I think we're going to get a good one here. Yeah, that's good. It's another very good pint. Can't call it an absolute creamer, but a creamer nonetheless it is. Again, that problem in America, slightly elevated levels of bitterness, has struck here as well. I've had a few here that have been good, that have the same characteristics as this, and a few that haven't had that excessive bitterness. But this is a great pint, and I'm looking forward to sinking quite a few of them before I head to the stadium. And in terms of where we are, Muttonistas, in downtown Orlando, it doesn't seem like the biggest downtown, and everything seems incredibly spread out here. So the pub I went to before the Juventus game and afterwards was a long way away in an Uber. Most other places were so as well. Thankfully, I've been able to walk directly from my hotel here. However, the downtown area does seem a little bit quiet. I don't think this is the main business capital of Florida, and I don't think this is tourist season either. So if you come to Orlando, be aware the downtown is not actually heaving, and everything, as I said, is well spread out. Okay, Muttonistas, food time. I've gone for their sandwich called the Dubliner. They did have more hearty offerings available, but I'm not really in the mood for a massive bowl of Irish stew in this sort of heat. Although the pub, of course, is well air-conditioned. It's got roast beef, onions, Swiss cheese, and I think some sort of mayo. I'll just check on the menu because I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of every pub menu. Yes, sautéed onions, Swiss cheese melted and mayo. Yeah, very crisp French bread as well. So this will be just the ticket before the match. I don't want too much, even though it's an evening kickoff and I might struggle to get something later. But Muttonistas, I can assure you, as often is the case, I'm match fit. Come on, City. The team news will be coming out in a few moments, but as always, Muttonistas, I don't like to spend extra time at the stadium, except of course if there is extra time. Al Hilal, I saw them play against Real Madrid. It's one of the few games I've been able to catch because I've been so busy here, other than of course City's games, and they were very, very negative, as you'd expect, but they did look to pose a threat, or looked as if they did pose a threat on the counter. So as always, we have to be careful about that. So to that end, I do hope Rodri starts because he is the counter-attack buster supreme. He can stop these things in their tracks sometimes, and he is positionally acutely aware. I think everybody else was in the last game. The fullbacks overlapping, I love that. We haven't seen that for a long, long time. I hope we pin them back, use width intelligently, and as long as we bust up the counters, I think we'll be just fine. Anyway, I'll be back with you in what must be like a couple of minutes for me and a couple of seconds for you with the team news and my reaction. Okay, Muttonistas, the team news is out, and the big surprise is that Rodri is not starting. We have Edison in goal, back four, Nunes, Aït-Nouri at full-back, that's looking good at the moment. In the middle, Diaz and Vardiol, of course Vardiol now coming in for Akanji. Perfectly fine, I think. Now, we have in the middle Gundogan, and we have Reinders, and we have Bernardo. Now, I hope that those players are able to counter the counter or stop the counters. I guess that Reinders has got enough pace in him to do that, and maybe Pep wants to see how we play without Rodri, but I hope he's not risking too much there. Savinho, Doku and Haaland up front as the trident that started the second half against Juventus and really did serious damage. So I think that should be enough to deal with Al Hilal. Only time will tell, but I think that our width and our wide players are going to do that damage again. Come on, City. And this time, I think there is a bus shuttle to the ground and back, so I'm going to take it there as long as they run late enough for me to get there, so that when I come back I know where to pick them up and avoid that absolute mess that the Camping World Stadium is post-match. To be honest, it's a bit of a mess all match. Well, this looks a lot better, this does. I've managed to catch a complimentary shuttle bus. I had to look deep and hard for this. Wasn't obvious, I needed some other fans to tell me. And when you got your guide to the day in the stadium, it doesn't mention it, but if you go onto the Club World Cup app and then click the stadium and then look all the way down, click on transportation offers and transportation options, then they actually mention this bus. Obviously it's easy to get in. Let's hope I can find these buses to get myself away, which is the most important thing, Muttonistas. But for now, this is good, a free ride to the stadium. Okay, Muttonistas, serious stuff. The hat has had to come off, and it's another warm evening here. Not boiling hot like Philadelphia. There are a few Saudi supporters here, so no queues for the bar, obviously. So I think I'm going to be properly refreshed today. $13, Stella, it's okay.
Depends on one opportunity and other. also, if you just sold, you have to put soccer as your sole focus. Yes. Even if you're not signed by an academy, it's
Go on, Jess, good in. Go on. Well, only took 9 minutes. There's a bit of pinball in there, but eventually Bernardo bundled it home. 1-0 City. Keep up this rich vein of form, lads. Let's do it. Now, what's going on here? The Al Hilal players are surrounding the referee based on something they saw from the televised replay. They seem to think there was a handball, but that's up to VAR, not to them. But maybe there is an official check now going on. And I've never understood why you'd surround the ref if there is a VAR check. I mean, it's not going to make any difference. The VAR will decide.
James said it and then Jackson Street.
It just says.
Go on, go on. 28 in Muttonistas. We are not having this all our own way, but as I said, they don't have much of a cutting edge going forward, so still pretty confident. But come on, City, I think we could move up a gear here. Half-time Muttonistas, City 1, Al Hilal 0. And after the heights of the Juventus game, well, it's gone a bit flat again. Not a terrible City performance by any means. I think we've been pretty tidy at the back, but Al Hilal have looked dangerous on the counter-attack. And after this promising start we had, well, we had that one where the keeper tipped it over, but apart from that, not too much else. Having said that, Al Hilal's end product is rather poor, having got themselves into good counter-attacking positions. I think a second goal should kill this off, because I do think Al Hilal are a bit goal shy, but when we've got wide, well, it's been a bit like last season's Premier League season, no overlapping, 1 against 2 on the whole, not always, but on the whole. Is it Rodri that makes the big difference? Because we've been much more cautious with the use of the fullbacks here, and Nunes, of course, is on a yellow card. Anyway, I'm sure we can do this. Let's hope we don't have to go to extra time and penalties in this boiling heat, and let's hope that any lightning that we've seen on the horizon doesn't catch up with us. I'm going to have a half-time pint, easy to get this time, but come on, City. Almost straight from the kick-off, Al Hilal equalised. A gust of wind kicked up, and a load of people blocked me in the vestibules. What are they doing? Anyway, maybe I didn't want to see their goal anyway.
Alex
That was Route 1 stuff. We've not got this right. Somebody should have done their homework here. We really should have had Kazanov on to match the pace of these boys. We've got to dig ourselves out of a hole there. I'm sure we can do it, but Guardiola, I think we need some substitutions here. City losing now 2-1 to Al Hilal. And this is supposed to be the City end that I booked tickets in. What are Arsenal and United fans doing in this end of the ground?
Let me tell you, Muttonistas, we're going to be fine. We'll beat these.
And triple substitution, more pace, plus Rodri. I think we needed that. Come on, City, get a grip. Just what we needed, didn't take long to get back on terms. An absolute mess in the Al Hilal defence. Haaland slotted it home. 2-2, come on City. Okay, Muttonistas water break now, although we are confident that we can get another at this end. The problem is those long balls that they're running onto. Well, I think I'd have Kazanov on so he could keep pace with those pacey Saudi players. They're not doing anything complicated, they're just lumping it forward and we're not matching them for pace. Go. Al Hilal goal living a charmed life here. Let's hope we don't pay for those misses. Well, my feeling is we should have just ground this out to extra time instead of allowing them the chance to make a knockout blow. Let's hope they don't score with about 40 seconds left. So there we are, 2-2 and extra time. That mad period after half-time, we could do without this end-to-end stuff. We need to grind them down, get that winner, come on City, and in the interest of research, I'm going to see if the bar's still open at full time. Huge queues for the toilets and no beer. Deary, deary me, shocking marking, what do you expect? Okay, plenty of time to recover, but come on Sid, we've got to do better than this. We've got to get to those second balls quickly as well and recover. Oh. I didn't see who actually put the cross in, but what a great deft finish from Foden. 3-3, come on City, sort this one out. I was still actually busy watching what was going on, the throw and then just the ball over to the other side with an extra man, and we aren't able to compensate for that. We haven't been able to all bloody game. I mean, where was the defence there? That was horrible, that was. Anyway, we've got 8 minutes plus added time, and there'll probably be a lot of that with all the feigning injury going on to dig ourselves out of a hole there. Okay, Muttonistas back at the Harp and Selt. That was a disaster, not what I was expecting at all. But first, a bit of refreshment because it's been a while since I've had anything liquid. Yeah, another great pint and just the ticket. So as always, I'm not sour about this. I want to congratulate Al Hilal and their supporters who were going absolutely mental. I believe their players were all getting $5 million if they won this match. Well, they really are quids in. They could go further in this tournament. I think they rode their luck a bit, but I'm going to talk about City here because there were a lot of bad things there. So many good chances. We should have been more than one up at half time. And then in the second half, all hell broke loose. We did not want an end-to-end game with this very, very pacey team, who did actually seem very goal-shy and very poor in terms of final balls and their finishing until the second half, of course. And I think the team selection was not good here. The 3 substitutes that came on at 2-1, well, they were needed. I think they should have started if they could have done. I also think Kuzanov should have started. Against a team like this, we needed tons and tons of pace, and we didn't have much in the middle of the park and the back at all. And the best thing of the evening is the cream on this pint. This is stupendous, this one is. Actually, that is a better pint than the one I was having earlier. It kind of hits the bar in terms of absolute creamers on my American scale, this one does. Anyway, we obviously have to move on from here. A whole new season is starting, well, in about a month and a bit, so we need to work on a lot of stuff there. After that Juventus game, so full of promise, I honestly thought we would go deep in this tournament, and it's a tournament which I'm taking seriously. I mean, why am I here? And I think that game demonstrates that it is a serious tournament, rather than some of you calling it a glorified pre-season friendly. I will accept that some of the City players are a bit knackered by the end of it, off their feet, but you know, that's the way it goes in tournaments. Always disappointing, suffered some of those disappointments watching England before. This feels a bit worse actually because I'm more invested in City. I suppose this video is going to get a ton of views when I publish it. A lot of opposing fans in England piling in, but hey ho, I try and give a balanced opinion even though, well, I should be a bit more biased. So I'm going to leave it there. This pint is magnificent actually. I'm going to call it an absolute creamer for sure. Don't know why everything has changed and why this one's better, but I'm going to love you and leave you here. I'll see you for more beer vlogs, both in the United States and Britain and Ireland, but for football supporters, we'll be back for the next season. I don't know when my first City match will be, but until then, remember, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, but most of all, don't forget, you can't beat a bit of mutton.